at the end.
And the final score of that game was 59-48. So that means that Heron moves on to the right on the bracket. They're going to be taking on Fairfield, the number 1 seed in this tournament. That's coming up at 12 o'clock. And if you're looking on your radio dial for Sports Voice this morning that you normally listen to on WJPF, if you head over to the FM side to 103.5 ESPN, you can hear Murph and Drew back at the studio on 103.5 ESPN for Sports Voice, as Scott and I are in Eldorado for Saturday, the first game of today, as the Carterville Lions prepare to take on West Frankfort. This is a rematch that took place. They met the first time back on December 7th at Carterville. Carterville picked up the win over Frankfort that day, and so we're going to be talking about that and get you set for tournament action here from Duff Kingston Gymnasium at Eldorado High School on News Radio WJPF.
We take our next break, I'll go get us waters.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, it is Greg Goodley.
Greg.
Back in Eldorado, Dave McKenzie and Scott Hudson. And Scott, really before we get into breaking down this game and get ready, let's say a thank you to Greg Goodley and the entire staff here at Eldorado High School. I had a chance to talk with him this morning bright and early when I got here. And you got to remember, there were 9 games on Thursday, 9 games yesterday. And that's a long day long 2 days and for this staff that puts this tournament together. And they just do an outstanding job.
Oh, there's no question. And I'm sure the first thing he would tell you is that it takes a lot of volunteers who put in the time and effort to have this thing go off without a hitch. And we've been here, 2 years now? And I'd been here years ago with Heron, but this is one of the premier tournaments, holiday tournaments in the state of Illinois. And even though it's a little bit of a drive for us, it's still worth the drive. We enjoy it. We love it here. The hospitality, everybody's friendly. So we can't say enough to Greg Goodley and his staff for the show they put on here.
Absolutely, it's a first class tournament, and really enjoy coming over here. Scott, these two teams, Carterville and West Frankfort, met in regular season play back on December 7th. Carterville got the win, 58-44. What's your expectations today in this game?
Well, I think you're going to see a different West Frankfort team. If for no other reason, they've got their point guard back, Isaiah Thompson. Thompson scored over 20 points against the number 1 seed Fairfield yesterday in a loss. So they've got him back. They've played very well since he's been back in the lineup. This is not going to be the same Frankfort team Carterville saw a few weeks ago. Carterville's going to have to come out and play, and they're going to have to keep Thompson. I'm not going to compare Thompson to Brandon Anthony of Heron, but Thompson apparently has the ability to take control of the game, and Carterville cannot let him do that. And
Carterville, I mean, this is the story of the Carterville Lions. How turnovers go for Carterville is how will play a huge, and it does for any team, but especially with this Lions team, play a huge role in how the outcome of this game. Yesterday, 21 turnovers, and just some of those were just crushing turnovers.
and they only had 8 at halftime, which they did a very good job in the first half not turning the ball over. But the one thing we had not seen this year out of Carterville on the negative side was the poor free throw shooting. And I think that ultimately cost Carterville the game. So if they could shoot free throws better and take care of the basketball better, I think they'll win. If you go back to that first meeting with Carterville pressed West Frankfort and created a lot of turnovers. Mm-hmm. Now, that may change today with Thompson back in the lineup, but West Frankfort, other than Thompson, they don't handle the ball real well either. So it may come down to who has the fewest turnovers.
But we're kicking off the tournament here on Saturday. Coming up at 10 o'clock, it'll be Anna Jonesboro and Eldorado. And then this afternoon, you get into the championship brackets as Herons takes on Fairfield. That game is at 12 o'clock. At 1:30, it will be Massac County and Carmi. And then as you go into the afternoon and evening sessions, that's when you get into the consolation brackets early. And then tonight, coming up at 9 o'clock, it'll be the championship game here at the 55th Annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament. We'll go on and take another break. When we come back, we'll start talking about lineups and get you set as the Carterville Lions prepare to take on the West Frankfort Redbirds here from the Eldorado Holiday Tournament on News Radio WJPF. Okay. Yep. I've been busy since I got here. I got here at 7:30. Thought I'd have time to run over, but I wound up talking to the AD for a few minutes, and then come in here and hooked up with Drew, and so I'll stop in. We'll get breakfast after we're done here. Yeah, hopefully. Thanks, buddy. Dave McKenzie alongside Scott Hudson as we prepare for consolation bracket coverage of the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. The Carterville Lions kicking off play today when they take on West Frankfort, and we're getting set. Both teams are going through their final warm-ups on the floor. The crowd starting to file in here, and we are looking forward to bringing you the game here today. Carterville Lions yesterday, that was just a hard loss. It was a hard loss for Coach Shane Hawkins. It was a hard loss for the team. It was a hard loss for the broadcasters of the game. But Heron came away with a 59-48 win. Carterville in that game, Scott, they were right there. As a matter of fact, when you look at the scoring, it was a 14-13 game at the first quarter. 25-23, Carterville had a 2-point lead at the half, and but then it was in that third quarter and finally in that fourth quarter when Heron pulled away and secured the win.
Yeah, and Carterville made a nice run there midway through the fourth quarter to pull it within 4 and had the basketball, but couldn't make the comeback. I think what's frustrating is, I think Carterville probably felt that they could have won the game at the Pyramid Plus tournament against Heron. They had the lead at half here. So even though they missed all those free throws in the first half, they had the lead. They were going to get the ball to start the third quarter. You had a pretty good feeling that maybe this was the time that they were going to knock off Heron, but it just wasn't to be. And winning and losing are both mental, and both can be habits. One obviously a bad habit, one a good habit. And Carterville's got to find a way to beat teams that have a winning record, or like Heron yesterday at 500. To be a good team, you've got to beat good teams. And Carterville really needs to come out here today and play fast from the start, get a lead, and impose their will on this Frankfort team instead of the other way around.
The one thing that we've seen again this year that we saw a year ago for Coach Shane Hawkins and the Carterville Lions is the fact that Eli Downen seems like he steps up his game in this tournament. In the first game over NCOE, he winds up with 16 points. Yesterday in the loss to Heron, he winds up with 14. He is the leader of this team.
There's no question. Offensively, he's a guy that can score from the outside or the inside, and he makes some guys like Sumner and Garby better players because everybody's going to gravitate towards Eli, and so that sets things up for everybody else. But the other teams know that, and if they're going to double team down on a lot today, I'm sure. Every time he gets the ball, there's going to be two guys on him, and then Eli's going to have to be the facilitator, as they say, and maybe look for him to do well and assist today.
I look for a big game today from Austin Garby. I think this is a squad, a team at West Frankfort where Garby can really make a difference for this team.
After the game he had yesterday and the type of kid he is, who puts more time in the gym than anybody on the team, you know that he's ready. He probably wanted to play this game last night. He probably couldn't wait, but I look for a big game from Garby as well.
We're going to go on and take our final break of our pregame show. The teams are lining up for the introduction of players and the national anthem. And when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups between the Carterville Lions and the West Frankfort Redbirds. This is Championship Saturday of the 55th Annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament. Lions basketball is coming up next on News Radio WJPF. Okay.
This is session number 7 on day number 3, game number 1, featuring the visiting team, the West Frankfort.
All right, how you doing?
And the home team of Carterville Lions. At this time,
Okay.
please rise to your hats. Place your big veterans. Veterans feel free to salute the flag as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as twilight's last gleaming, whose last stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Championship Saturday. Here at the Vincent Gymnasium of the 55th Annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament. This is the semifinal matchup for the 5th place game featuring the visiting team, the West Frankfort Redbirds.
Welcome back to Eldorado High School. Happy Saturday to you and to yours on this holiday week, as it is Championship Saturday here for the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson. The starting lineups are being announced. Carterville, once again, is going to be the home team in this tournament as they take on the West Frankfort Redbirds. The Redbirds are in their road red uniforms, and their starting lineup being announced now. They have back in the lineup Scott Hudson, the 5'9" junior guard, Isaiah Thompson.
He's very good, very talented. He can shoot the ball as well as he can run the offense. And I thought Carson Pearson did a very good job on Brandon Anthony yesterday in the Heron-Carterville matchup. And Pearson's probably going to get the assignment on Thompson today. So that'll be one of the battles inside the battle that we'll be watching today.
Coach Pete Gordon will also go with the 5'9" senior Quincy King, the 5'10" junior Paxton Griffith, the 6'3" senior Ethan Cully, and the 6'3" senior Way. And Carterville turns the ball over for the first time in the game.
Yeah, passes across court are from the boundary to the top of the key have got to be a little quicker than they were yesterday.
Preston Sumner just picked up his first foul of the game. West Frankfort into the front court. Up top it goes to Brock Doris. Now to the left wing. That is Quincy King. King gets it down to the block. They back it up, and they're going to reset on the outside. Skip pass right side. Brock Doris. Right-hand dribble. Garby on him. They switch off, and the ball comes to Quincy King. King way out top, now to the left wing. To Paxton Griffith, down low to Doris, back to Griffith. He spins around, works his way into the paint, hops, skips, jumps, shoots, makes it.
That's a tough shot. Good defense by Carterville. He just made a tough shot.
2-0, Frankfort on top of the Carterville Lions here early in this first quarter. Austin Garby drives the baseline, puts it up off the glass, gets the bucket, and the foul. And Austin Garby is going to go to the line and shoot the and one.
There's the Austin Garby we know. Took it strong down the baseline, got it to go, and got fouled.
I said it just a few minutes ago. This is the type of game Austin Garby, I can kind of see him having an outstanding game.
Well, I hope you're right.
We need it.
Yeah, we need it.
We're tied at 2, 5:52 remaining here in the first quarter. Consolation bracket as the free throw was no good, and that's not a good omen to start this game as the Lions were just terrible from the line yesterday against Heron. Frankfort's in the front court. Isaiah Thompson into the contest now for the West Frankfort Redbirds. Thompson over on the left wing, bounce pass to the low block. He's bumped from behind. Oh, no, they're going to call him a travel.
Wow.
He got bumped from Preston Sumner, and that's a break for the Lions.
No question. Sumner did a how do you do from behind, and Carterville caught a break, but you got to take advantage of the breaks.
2-2 the ball game, 5:22 remaining here in the opening quarter. Austin Garby left wing, top of the key to Bryce Anderson. Back to Garby, back to Anderson. Anderson dribbles inside the arc, leaves it for Carson Pearson. Pearson, a bounce pass down low to Preston Sumner. He traveled, went in the air, jumped, and there was no place to go, and he walks with the ball.
Yeah, he's so strong at that point. Just go ahead and take the shot. You might get an offensive rebound, but he tried to make a pass, but before he could, he came down, and that's traveling. That's 2 turnovers already for Carterville.
It's a nice entry pass down low, but when he turned around to jump, he was too far underneath the basket, and he couldn't get the shot off. There was nothing to do. So another turnover on the Lions. That's 2 here early on. We're tied 2-2 at the 5-minute mark. Frankfort's ball, Thompson across the timeline. To the right side, he gets a lane. Little 8-foot jumper is good. He pops for his first point in the game. It's 4-2 Frankfort. Carterville has the ball. Connor Hawkins is into the game now. He had out on the left wing, back to Anderson. Now the pass is turned away. Turnover again on the Lions. Just killer for Carterville in this tournament. And the ball belongs to West Frankfort here just below us at Duff Kingston Gymnasium.
That's what I like to call an unforced error. There was no pressure on Connor Hawkins. He just made a bad pass.
Thompson triggers, gets it to Doris. Doris has Connor Hawkins on him defensively. No call there. The ball's tipped around on the floor. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be off the Lions. Eli down, and it's going to stay with the West Frankfort Redbirds.
Now, good hustle by the Lions.
This Lions broadcast is brought to you by the City of Carterville Mayor Brad Robinson. He sent me a text a while ago. He said, hey, let everybody know there's going to be a blood drive at the community center coming up on Monday from 2:30 to 6:30 at the Carterville Community Center. Always something going on in the city of Carterville. Over on the right side on the wing, that is Quincy King. He dribbles, that is Paxton Griffith, and a turnover on West Frankfort.
Shane Hawkins animated on the sideline. I didn't know if he was twerking or trying to tell the official that he was carrying the ball.
Well, he's going to be animated. He's got his kicks on today, not his dress shoes. He's got his tennies on, so he'll be running up and down the sideline over there in front of the Lions bench. Bryce Anderson launches from 3. That was a long three-pointer from Bryce Anderson. 5-4, Carterville the 1-point lead. Frankfort's basketball drive to the lane, right-hand layup is good from Paxton Griffith.
Yeah, he had a free pass to the glass, and he got it to go.
He's got 4. It's 6-5 Frankfort. 3:39 remaining here in the opening quarter. Connor Hawkins, right wing, top of the key. It goes to Anderson. Another turnover on the Lions. The other way, spin move and a foul is going to be called on Carterville's Bryce Anderson, his first.
Carterville's made their only 2 shots from the field. However, in their 6 possessions, 4 of those have ended in turnovers.
Preston Sumner will check back in. He's going to replace Austin Garvey, who's going to catch a breather. Nicholas Laird checking in for the first time. He replaces Carson Pearson. Frankfort's basketball. It's inbounded top of the key. Left-hand dribble. Now to Quincy King. King over to the right side. Isaiah Thompson is going to launch. That's short. Rebound comes off long. Connor Hawkins has it. He's on the run. Breakaway. And he gets fouled as he shoots. And the foul is going to be on Frankfort's Ethan Cully.
Now Connor got the long rebound on the floor, took it himself, and he had no help. He was all by himself, and he drew the foul. Now he's going to go should I just say FT instead of free throw?
Yeah,
I'll just say FT.
Can. Hawkins hits the first. (6-6), 3:15 with the clock stopped, and Connor Hawkins at the free throw line to our right. Second one from Hawk is good.
2 of 3 so far from the line for Carterville.
Much better. Carterville leads by 1, 7-6. Quincy King brings it across the timeline, hands it to Thompson. Now it works right side. Cully has it, drives. Little floater with the right hand is good from Ethan Cully. Cully's just a good ball player, too.
Yeah, he is. He's tall, lanky, but he can handle the ball very well.
Over on the left wing, Connor Hawkins. Top of the key to his brother, Kaden Hawkins. Now back to Connor. Thought about shooting the 3, decides not. Gets the ball into the paint to Downen. Kick out to Kaden. Left side to Connor. Into the paint. That's Downen. Right hand skyhook, no good. And Cully gets the board for West Frankfort. 8-7. Frankfort by 1. Quincy King to Thompson. He's open for 3. Launches. That's short. And the rebound to the Carterville Lions, Eli Downen. Kaden Hawkins with the right-hand dribble across the timeline. Downen takes it to the elbow, shoots, doesn't hit anything except the backboard. Just not a good look there from Downen. As Ethan Cully to the left wing to Isaiah Thompson. Thompson, the left-right dribble, crossover into the paint, gets it to Brock Doris. Doris, top of the key, and another turnover on West Frankfort.
Doris just doesn't look comfortable handling the basketball. And I think anytime he comes out on the perimeter and has to handle the basketball, you might want to put pressure on him because he just doesn't have the ability to handle the ball very well.
Frankfort's ball. They have it in the front court. Top of the key is Kaden Hawkins. Now to Nicholas Laird. Back to Hawkins. They kick it around. Nice ball movement by the Lions as they work the ball into the paint. They kick it out. Connor Hawkins fires from 3. Good for Connor Hawkins.
Carterville's second 3 of the first quarter.
Frankfort into the front court. Quincy King drives, puts the shot up, and he's fouled.
Nope, charge.
They're going to call the charge on Quincy King.
Connor Hawkins stood his ground. He knew it was coming. He knew it might hurt for a second or two, but he took it, and turnover gives the ball back to Carterville.
Austin Garvey is in to replace Eli Downen, who's going to get a breather, come to the bench. Gets a hand slap from coaches over on the far side. 10-8, Carterville up by 2. Minute 25 remaining here in the opening quarter. Kaden Hawkins over to his brother Connor. They work the left side. Skip pass right side, Nick Laird. Laird drives to the baseline, kicks it out top. They say he stepped on the baseline. Another turnover on the Lions.
Unforced. You have to know where the out-of-bounds line's at. I'm sorry. You just have to know that.
.110 remaining, opening quarter. Quincy King across the timeline, into the paint. That's Andrew Cunningham to Cully. Fakes the handoff to King, kicks it down low, baseline drive, and that is Paxton Griffith with another bucket. He's got 6 of the 10 for West Frankfort, under a minute to play here in the first. Carterville ball, 10-10. The score, long three. Connor Hawkins once again. He's got 2 threes here in the game. 8 points here in the first quarter.
Well, Carterville needs somebody to be a zone buster, and that person right now is Connor Hawkins.
Lions lead it by 3, 25 remaining in the opening quarter. Over to Paxton Griffith, left wing. Up top it goes. Drive, bump into Preston Sumner, and a charge call on West Frankfort.
I believe that is on Melvin. Melvin got bumped a little bit by Sumner, but then Melvin put his forearm out, and that's what the official saw.
The first foul on Melvin, the 4th team foul on Frankfort, and Carterville looks to add to their 3-point lead with 13 seconds on the clock. Over to the left side, that's Nick Laird, top of the key to Hawkins. Now to Connor Hawkins, 6-5. Over to Eli Downen on the left wing. 2 seconds, 1 second. You got to shoot, guys. You got to shoot, and that's not going to be any good. 13-10 as we end the first quarter. The Carterville Lions lead the West Frankfort Redbirds by 3. Second quarter action is next on News Radio WJPF.
I don't think they want Coach Hawkins donating any of his blood right now because it's boiling.
Okay.
We're like the plague. We're everywhere.
Yes. The Eldorado Holiday Tournament on Saturday. Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson into the first quarter. Carterville leads at 13-10. Carterville has the ball to start play here in the second. In the front court down low, the shot from Downen partially blocked, and West Frankfort pulls off the rebound. They bring it the other way. Into the front court. Turnover on West Frankfort. Carterville takes it the other way. Over to Kaden Hawkins. Connor now top of the key to Nick Laird. He drives, loses the handle. They're saying it's off of West Frankfort. It's going to stay with the Lions.
Carterville shot 66% in the first quarter, 62% for West Frankfort.
Lions broadcast brought to you by American Monument Company, located on South Court Street in Marion, where their monuments have that special touch. Carterville has the ball. They have a 3-point lead as well at the 7-minute mark. Here to the first half. Over to Nick Laird. Drives the baseline, kicks it out to Connor Hawkins, left wing. Right-hand dribble around the top, leaves it for his brother, Kaden. Over to Nick Laird on the right wing. He drives the baseline. Into Downen, into the paint. Little jump shot from Downen's no good. Battles for the board. Frankfort comes away with it, and they're going to call a jump ball. Nick Laird got in there, got a hand on the ball, and he tied it up. And the possession arrow stays with the Lions.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be West Frankfort's ball. Carterville had the ball to start the second quarter, So it has to be,
it should be West
Frankfort's ball.
Good call, Scott Hudson. That's very observant by you.
You know what? Especially this early in the morning, that scares me.
Length of the floor. We're going to have timeouts. Official timeout. Connor Hawkins was trying to tie his shoe. Lions broadcast brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating. Beautiful downtown Carterville for over 30 years. Call 985-2502. Frankfort's ball. Isaiah Thompson quickly into the front court. Thompson, a 5'9 junior, over on the right wing, gets it to Paxton Griffith. Griffith wants to get it inside, does, into the paint, down low. The bank shot is good from Andrew Cunningham.
A lot of Frankfort's baskets today have come within 5 feet of the goal.
It's a 1-point game, 13-12, Carterville on top. Connor Hawkins to Kaden. Into Downen, kick out to Nick Laird. He's open for three. In, out, no good. Rebound, West Frankfort. outlet pass. Frankfort gets back to Paxton Griffith. His shot is blocked from behind, and the foul is called. And that may be, it's going to be on Nicholas Laird.
Carterville, not a good start to this second quarter. They had a couple of opportunities to extend that 3-point lead, and now they find themselves tied.
At 13 is Paxton Griffith at the line. He's got 7 points already for West Frankfort.
He's a good ball player, along with Culley, Thompson. This is a pretty good team.
He hits both free throws, and he's going to go to the bench and get a breather as Quincy King checks in to replace Paxton Griffith. Frankfort by 1, 6-minute mark here of the first half. 14-13, Carterville ball in the front court. Carson Pearson back into the ball game. His pass tipped away, but Bryce Anderson saves him. Nice pass down into the paint to Garby. Spins around, has to kick it out. Good defense by West Frankfort to stop that, but Bryce Anderson buries it from the three-point line, and Carterville's back on top.
Carterville shooting the ball well from the field. Cannot complain about that so far.
They lead it by 2, 16-14, 5:30 remaining in the second. Isaiah Thompson runs into a double team, steps through, good job, but he gets the ball to Quincy King. King around the top of the key, has Garby on him defensively. Good defense by the Lions on this possession. Garby up top, works his way through the screen, switches over to Downen defensively. Isaiah Thompson into the paint, bumps in, no call, and the shot no good, and Bryce Anderson gets the board. Carterville takes it the other way. Over to the right corner, Pearson back to Anderson, and Garby is fouled from behind, and the foul is going to be on Frankfort's Andrew Cunningham.
Carterville's very aggressive on the defensive end. I think a lot of that is because in their first meeting, Carterville really created a lot of turnovers on the perimeter.
Love the intensity from the team right now defensively. Connor Hawkins for three. That's off the front of the iron. It bounced over the top of the backboard. Out of bounds, it's going to go to West Frankfort.
Hey, he's open. You got to take that shot. He's hit a couple in this game already. You're open. You got to fire.
16-14. Lions the 2-point lead. They pick up the full court pressure on West Frankfort. Quincy King with it. Needs to hurry. Reverses. Carterville cuts him off at the line, but he steps across, throws the ball away. Great defense by the Lions. They force the turnover on Redbirds.
And we saw this in the first meeting. Frankfort's has a very hard time handling the basketball unless it's in the hands of Isaiah Thompson.
And he's back on the floor now, replacing Quincy King. 2-3 zone by the Redbirds defensively. Carterville has it on the perimeter. Anderson steps inside to Art, kicks it over to Pearson left side. Now to Connor Hawkins from the baseline. He launches too strong, and Anderson runs down the board. Gets the ball down to Garby. Garby loses the handle, and it winds up in the hands of West Frankfort. Redbirds take it the other way. Here comes Isaiah Thompson. Over to the right side, turnover. Another turnover for West Frankfort.
Well, that ball was tipped before it got to the Frankfort player in the corner, and once it was tipped, he couldn't handle it, went out of bounds. Carterville with another opportunity to extend that 2-point lead.
Lions broadcast brought to you by SIH, a comprehensive network of care. You can visit them online at SIH.net. Carterville nursing a 2-point lead, 16-14 at the 4-minute mark of the first half. Frankfort stays in the 2-3 zone, forcing Carterville to stay outside. Anderson between the circles, right side to Carson Pearson. Pearson looks to get the pass inside. Eli Downen's in the paint. Bryce Anderson fires from three, air ball, but Preston Sumner's there to get the board. In the paint, Downen, turnaround jumper from Eli Downen. Eli finally in the scorebook with points, 18-14, Carterville by 4.
Give Sumner credit for keeping that play alive, and maybe that basket will get Eli going.
Isaiah Thompson into the paint. Finds an opening, banks it up off the board. Thompson has 4 for West Frankfort.
Now he just got inside Sumner. Nobody cut him off once he got into the lane.
2-point lead for the Lions, 18-16. 3:20 remaining in the first quarter. Anderson, left side it goes to Pearson. Into the paint to Downen. Kicks it out to Anderson. Right-hand floater off the back of the iron. No good. Big board for the West Frankfort Redbirds. Here comes Colley. Takes it to the elbow. Over to the right side. Paxton Griffith bumps in, and another charge. That's the third charge called, and the second charge taken by Hawkins on the floor.
Yeah, Connor Hawkins, that's his second one he's taken. That is 8 turnovers now for West Frankfort. Carterville was 6.
Connor walks up the far sideline trying to catch his breath back. He's good now. Shakes it off, and Carterville at the 3-minute mark of the half leads by 2, 18-16. Bryce Anderson to Carson Pearson on the right wing. Steps inside the arc. Now they get the ball to Downen. Kick out to Connor Hawkins. Baseline drive. Leaves it for Downen from the left wing for 3. Off the iron. No good. Battle for the board. And a foul is going to be called on Carson Pearson.
Carterville only has 2 field goals in this second quarter, after shooting 66% in the first quarter.
Yet they still lead by 2.
Yep.
18-16. 2:40 remaining here in the first half. Cully now kicks it to Doris on the right to baseline. He drives into the paint, spin move, left-hand layup is good, and he gets the foul. The foul is going to be called on Connor Hawkins, who bumped him with the body. And Brock Doris has a chance to give Frankfort the 1-point lead. We're tied at 18 with 2:31 on the clock. Free throw. Wow, that was a brick, and it still went in by Brock Doris. He even laughs just a little bit as he heads back the other way.
Yeah, when he let that go, I thought, well, that's not going to be any good. And it just doink right into the...
That was my shot. I'm a bricklayer when it comes to actually playing. Over on the left wing, Carterville ball trail by 1, 19-18. Downen from the free throw line has the ball tipped out of his hands, but Anderson gets it into the low block to Sumner. Downen has it. Bank shot in, out, no good. Downen will go to the line and try to give Lions the lead again.
Just couldn't get it to go. It rolled around the rim a couple of times, came out. Carterville, 2 of 3 from the free throw line here in the first half.
Brock Doris has picked up the foul for West Frankfort. The first free throw from Downen is good. That's the 7th team foul now on the Redbirds. The Lions will be shooting the 1-and-1 the rest of the half. Tie ball game, 19-all, 2:10. Second free throw, rims out. Oh, Preston Sumner gets the board. Right-hand hook is no good, and Frankfort comes away with that rebound. Outlet pass. Paxton Griffith runs over Kaden Hawkins. No call, and Griffith lays it home. He has 10 first-half points, and it's 21-19 Frankfort.
Frankfort has hit their last 3 shots from the field.
2-point lead for West Frankfort in the paint. Down and turnaround jumper short, out of bounds. And they're going to say it was off of Paxton Griffith, or Isaiah Thompson, rather. It's going to stay with the Lions.
Yeah, Carterville's gone cold in this second quarter from the field.
Anderson to Downen on the inbounds pass. Up top to Carson Pearson. Back to Downen left wing. Pearson now they work right side to Kaden Hawkins. Anderson kick out pass to Pearson. Good ball movement by the Lions. Pearson left side. Anderson for 3 short. Rebound to the Redbirds. Minute 25 remaining in the half. 21-19 Frankfort. Over to the right side, Brock Doris. Left-hand dribble inside the arc to the free throw line. Gets some help from Isaiah Thompson. Little right-hand floater. Gets the shooter's touch. Thompson has 6, and it's a 4-point West Frankfort lead. 62 seconds remaining in the half. Eli Downen, his little right-hand floater in the lane is good. That's 5 in the game for Downen. Thompson, a wild shot the other end, and he's a little slow to get up as he's on the baseline. Carterville takes it the other way. 5-on-4 for the Lions. Right-hand floater from Anderson, air ball. Sumner's there. Rebound, gets the bucket. Good hard work from Preston Sumner. He is in the book with 39 seconds left. We're tied at 23.
Sumner's got 3 offensive rebounds in this first half.
Paxton Griffith now over to the top of the key for West Frankfort. Josh Melvin gets it to Brock Doris. Gets the screen from Melvin, runs over the top of little Kaden Hawkins.
That was an obvious forearm. Stevie Wonder could have made that call.
Brock Doris picks up foul number 2. Preston Sumner checks out. Connor Hawkins back in. Kaden Hawkins will go get a breather. And Carterville with 19 seconds can take the lead here going into halftime. Bryce Anderson slowly walks the ball across the timeline. Now they work it to the left wing. That's Eli Downen. Carson Pearson, Bryce Anderson, backdoor lob. Eli Downen, nice pass, and Downen converts. Carterville has the 2-point lead. Frankfort with 1 second. Long shot off the back of the iron, no good. We are heading to the half. Carterville, a much better ball game today. They lead at the half by 2, 25-23. Halftime show is coming up next on News Radio WJPF. Woo! Thank you. Okay. Yeah, well, Scott can talk forever, so we can take it to 10.
Yeah, sure.
Where are they at today? All right. All right. At the half here at the Eldorado Holiday Tournament, game 1 of session number 7 at Duff Kingston Gymnasium. Carterville leads the West Frankfort Redbirds 25-23. Much better half of basketball for the Carterville Lions.
Yeah, no question. They only shot 5 free throws, or excuse me, 6, but they made 3 of those, which is better. Only 6 turnovers in the first half. Carterville only shot 36% from the field, but they hit 4 threes in that first half. West Frankfort did not have a 3. West Frankfort shot 59% from the field. Carterville out-rebounded West Frankfort 11-8. Sumner led Carterville with 3. Cunningham led West Frankfort with 5. At one point late in that second quarter, Carterville was down 23-21, and Frankfort had the ball, but Carterville went on a 4-0 run late to take a 25-23 lead here at half, which is exactly the same score Carterville led Heron by yesterday.
Good. That's good recall from you.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
When you look at the scoring for West Frankfort, they're led by the 5'10 junior Paxton Griffith. He wound up with double figures, 10 points there in the first half to lead the Redbirds. Brock Doris had 3, Andrew Cunningham with 2, Ethan Cully with 2, and Isaiah Thompson with 6. Coach Pete Gordon and the West Frankfort Redbirds hang 23 points on the first half scoreboard. When you look at the scoring for the Carterville Lions, Eli Downen, let's see here. Actually, Connor Hawkins, the leading scorer. He has 8. He had 2 3-pointers and a field goal. 8 for Connor Hawkins. Eli Downen has 7. Preston Sumner, a bucket late there, a big board and put back for Sumner. He has 2. And then you have Bryce Anderson with 6, Austin Garby with 2. How many turnovers did we wind up with?
Carterville only had 6. West Frankfort ended up with 9.
That's what I will have in my book as soon as I mark these other 4 down. But Carterville leads it by 2, 25-23 now. The winner of this game will advance on to the 5th place game tonight at 6 o'clock. And in the next matchup, here at the 55th Annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament, it will be Anna Jonesboro and Eldorado, and Carterville will play the winner, the winner of this game will play the winner of next game, well, hopefully, it's a good start for the Lions here in this one. They played much better, and they lead by 2 here at the half, 25-23. We'll continue here on our halftime show from the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. Dave McKenzie and Scott Hudson on News Radio WJPF. At the half of the Eldorado Holiday Tournament, Dave McKenzie and Scott Hudson. Carterville leads by 2, 25-23. This is the consolation bracket. The winner of this, as we mentioned moments ago, will move on to play the winner of Anna Jonesboro and Eldorado. Other games taking place today, coming up at noon in session number 8 will be Heron and Fairfield. That's in the winner's bracket. Then at, let's see here, that's noon. Then at 3 o'clock, actually 1:30, will be Massac and Carmi. The winners of those two brackets will move on to the championship game tonight coming up at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so far the seeding has worked out with the exception of Carmi upsetting Eldorado.
That's the only upset of the tournament.
That's the only upset of the tournament. But Fairfield's the number one team for a reason. They had a great team last year, a good team this year.
Defending champion.
Don't sell Massac County short. Joe Hossman's team's very good. I look for them to win. I look for them to beat Carmi and move on to that championship game. But Fairfield, I'm going to predict right now a Fairfield-Massac County final. I'm just going to go out on a limb.
There you go. What more do we need to say? I mean, that's
just everybody go home.
Take that for what it's worth, right there from Scott Hudson. But West Frankfort comes out of the locker room first. They're going through their final warm-ups as we prepare for second half action. And again, if you're looking for Sports Voice, Murph and DH are back in the studio in 103.5 ESPN this morning, so you can tune in there or head online to 1035ESPN.com. At the conclusion of this game, Scott and I will keep it here to take you to the top of the hour, 10 o'clock, as we still have one more half of basketball. We'll go on and take our final break. Second half action coming up next. The Lions lead it by 2, 25-23. This is Lions basketball on News Radio WJPF. Hey, if you're watching online, thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's going to be, it'll be right at 10 o'clock by the time we're done. So. From Duff Kingston Gymnasium at Eldorado High School, the 55th annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament, as we get set for second half action here. Scott Hudson, what's Carterville got to do?
A lot of the same things they did in the first half. They played very good defense, except for maybe 3 or 4 times where Frankfort got to the lane easily. Carterville played with intensity in that first half. They got to do that again in the second half. Remember, the third quarter was not kind to Carterville yesterday. They've got to take care of the basketball and take good shots.
Carterville only scored 8 points in that third quarter yesterday against the Heron Tigers. They lead it here 25-23 and the ball to start play in the second half. Carterville in the home whites, moving right to left on your radio dial. It's Carson Pearson, has the ball, top of the circle. Now right side to Bryce Anderson to Austin Garby. The other two starters, Downen and Preston Sumner. Sumner has the ball, kicks it to Downen, takes it into the paint, right hand layup, partially blocked. Downen goes over the top, and a foul is going to be called on Eli Downen.
Yeah, an off-balance shot by Downen in the lane. He saw an opening, but got contorted, and that's going to be a missed shot, and the ball goes back to West Frankfort.
Ethan Cully has the ball. He brings it across the timeline, matched up on Eli Downen. Carterville tries to get the double team. Now Quincy King, right side. It goes to Josh Melvin. Now they work it over to Brock Doris. Doris, the right-hand dribble to Paxton Griffith. Top of the circle, long three is buried by Ethan Cully.
That's their first three of the game and gives them the lead back.
26-25, just underway here in the second half. Bryce Anderson directs traffic from the logo just in the front court for the Lions. Now top of the key, Carson Pearson, right side. Backdoor pass to Eli Downen, banks it home. Good look. And from Anderson to Downen.
That's a set play, and it's been run to perfection twice today.
Carterville leads it by one. Into the paint. Shot fouled from behind. The shot from Ethan Cully. He's going to go to the line and shoot free throws.
Now, Cully was falling to his left, trying to shoot back to the right. And I think if Garby let him go, he probably would have missed the shot anyway, but Garby got him from behind.
Austin Garby picked up his first foul. Cully's free throw is good. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in downtown Carterville. No job is too big or too small. Call 985-2502. Cully misses the second free throw. Carterville quickly the other way. Pearson left wing. Top of the circle to Downen. Right side it goes to Anderson. Down low to Preston Sumner. Sumner loses his balance and timeout is called by Coach Shane Hawkins, who was knelt down in the corner. Didn't even see him at first. But Carterville calls a 30-second timeout. We're tied at 27 here at the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. 30. Okay. $27. That means we're tied at 27 at the 6:26 mark.
Well, that coffee helped you this morning.
See what I did there?
I'm telling you.
I just woke up.
Nothing gets past you.
Carterville basketball just below us here at the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. Bryce Anderson gets it down low to Downen. He kicks it around top of the key. Carson Pearson's wide open for three. Oh, man, that was about as far in as it can go. And it popped out. Quickly the other way. Frankfort. Cully has it. Low block. Waits on the defense. Oh, good D. They don't foul, and they have to kick it out. Paxton Griffith. A little 8-foot jumper's no good. Big board, and the shot put back no good. Rebound around. West Frankfort has it, and a whistle and a foul on the Carterville Lions. That's good work in the paint from Ethan Cully.
Yeah, Cully and Cunningham both kept that play alive. That's their first two offensive rebounds in this game.
The foul is on Carson Pearson, his second. Cully drives. Paxton Griffith backs up. 2 steps to the three-point line. Misses the shot. And Downen turns the ball over. I've got the first turnover on Carterville here in the half.
Yep, and now West Frankfort turns the ball over.
Carterville only had 6 turnovers in the first half. Bryce Anderson, left wing to Carson Pearson. Pearson, right-hand dribble now to Garby. Back to Pearson. Steps inside to Art, fires, gets the touch. Carson Pearson, his first bucket of the game, 29-27 Lions.
Now Pearson thought about the three, drove inside the arc, and hit the 10-footer.
Carson Pearson's really had an outstanding Eldorado Holiday Tournament.
Yes, he has.
Frankfort ball was tipped. Nope, they're going to say it was a backcourt violation, goes out of bounds, and it belongs to the Lions.
Carterville's pressure on the perimeter is really causing Frankfort problems. Now Carterville's regained that 2-point lead. Let's see if they can extend that.
And that pressure being led by Pearson. He was on Brandon Anthony the whole game yesterday, did a good job. Anthony only scored 20, and I say only. He scored 33 against Carterville the first matchup of the season. Carterville turns the ball over. Bad pass the other way. West Frankfort takes it, And Quincy King winds up with it. Into the paint, a whistle and a foul on behind as the ball wound up in the hands of Isaiah Thompson.
Well, Anderson stole the ball in the front court after making the bad pass in the front court, then he throws it away. Carterville not able to extend that 2-point lead. I don't think anybody's in this game's led by more than 4 or 5 points.
Well, here we've been talking about Carson Pearson. He just picked up his 3rd foul for the Lions. Long 3 ball, no good from West Frankfort. Goes off the leg of Connor Hawkins. It's going to stay with West Frankfort. Andrew Cunningham threw the ball off the leg of the older Hawkins son. Carterville leads it by 2, 29-27. Ethan Colley drives and travels as he drug his back foot. It's a turnover. Carterville gets the ball back. Chance to extend this lead.
Garby was guarding him the entire way and forced that turnover. Well, you just feel like, man, if Carterville could just go on a 6-0, 7-0 run, they could settle down a little bit.
And feel a whole lot more comfortable
yeah.
Well. They're up by 2, 29-27. Nicholas Laird into the game. Down and has it to Anderson. To the free throw line, that's Garby. Spins around, hands it back to Anderson. He steps inside the arc, in the free throw line. Floats one, no good, but he tracks down the rebound. Now Downen has it. He takes it into the paint. 8-foot jumper, no good, and the rebound comes off to Quincy King for West Frankfort. Takes it the other way. Connor Hawkins runs right up his back and is going to pick up a foul. Connor just had lost his balance and incidental contact there. Lions broadcast is brought to you by City of Carterville. Don't forget the blood drive coming up on Monday at the Carterville Community Center. West Frankfort basketball trying to tie this game up. Shot in, out, no good. And Connor Hawkins pulls down the board, hands it to Bryce Anderson across the timeline into the free throw line. Now it's Nick Laird who's open for 3 from the right wing, no good. The ball goes out of bounds off of Paxton Griffith, and it's going to stay with the Carterville Lions.
I'll give Garby credit for keeping that play alive. Thought he might get called for over the back, but he didn't.
Oh, nice feed to Laird into the paint, but his shot is blocked. Garby gets it, gets the bucket, gets the foul, and Austin Garby a chance to go to complete the 3-point play.
Great job by Garby. He initially kept that possession alive by getting the ball to go off one of the Frankfort players. Then after Laird missed what appeared to be an easy shot, Garby gets the rebound, goes strong into the hole, and gets fouled.
Andrew Cunningham picks up the foul. Free throw from Garby's good. Completes the 3-point play. Carterville up 5. Isaiah Thompson back into the game, and he goes down.
Oh, they're going to call it travel.
And
he got a little bit of a shove.
He's hurt. He didn't play against Carterville the first game.
And he didn't start this game, which we were told he was going to. And he's going to have to come out. I thought he got shoved from behind, but the official on the far side is the one that made the call.
A travel and gives the ball right back to Carterville. Carterville's up 5, 32-27. Bryce Anderson inside the arc over the right side to Laird. Finds Connor Hawkins in the corner. He fires from 3. That's off the front of the iron. Paxton Griffith, the rebound for the Redbirds. Quincy King over to Josh Melvin. Melvin backs up. He launches from 3, in, out, and the rebound to Austin Garby of the Lions. Here comes Bryce Anderson. Into the paint. Little right-hand floater's good from Bryce Anderson. 8 for Anderson. Carterville's pushed the lead out, 34-17.
Biggest lead of the game for either team.
Quincy King has Nicholas Laird on him. Carterville could get the trap there. King pulls up the dribble, gets it to Colley. Colley back to King. That is Josh Melvin. As Austin Garby, good D from Austin Garby.
5-second
call, forces the turnover. Outstanding defense by the Lions.
No question, especially Garby, who's not the quickest player, but he had a guy similar to his size out handling the ball. Did a good job to get the 5-second call. 6 turnovers already in the third quarter for West Frankfort.
And only 2 for the Carterville Lions.
I've got him for 3, but 2 or 3 either way. That's good. And Carterville's extended this lead to 7.
7-point lead to 24 in the third quarter. Pass into Sumner, back into the game. Kick out pass, top of the key. Kaden Hawkins, his shot in and out. Rebound off of Connor Hawkins. And the ball's going to go over to the Redbirds.
Have no problem with the freshman taking that shot. He's at the top of the key. He's wide open, had a good look, thought it was going to go, but it didn't.
Lions broadcast brought to you by American Monument Company, located on South Court Street in Marion, where their monuments have that special touch. Glad to have them as a sponsor of Lions basketball. Cully hands the ball off to Brock Doris. Off down low to Cully. He banks it home. He's got 8, 34-29, Carterville by 5. Nice step to the baseline. The shot from Nicholas Laird, no good, and a whistle and a foul.
They're going to call it on Cunningham over the back of Downing.
And that's the third on Cunningham. Second team foul on Frankfort. 34-29, Lions up 5. Nicholas Laird. Connor Hawkins, back to Laird left wing. He drives the baseline, puts it up. Oh, misses everything, a little too strong. The ball's tipped around, and it winds up in the hands of the Redbirds. Into the front court, Quincy King takes it. Kick out pass right side. Brock Doris fires from 3, good. 5 for Doris in the game. Excuse me, 6.
7-point lead for Carterville is now a 2-point lead.
And a timeout on the floor. It's a full 34-32. Lions on top of the Redbirds here on News Radio WJPF.
Once again, we'd like to thank the following individuals and businesses for calling the hospitality. Clearway Communications, Dad's Barbecue, Eldorado Big John's, Eldorado House, Eldorado Meatballs, Eldorado Stuffing, Harrisburg KFC, Little Caesars, Matthew's Pizza, John's Restaurant, John's Brand Distributing, and Jim O's Midnight at the Grill.
Carterville up 2, 34-32 here at the Eldorado Holiday Tournament Championship Saturday. This is the consolation bracket. The winner will play tonight at 6 o'clock for 5th place. Carterville has the ball and the 2-point lead. Connor Hawkins for 3, nothing but net for Connor Hawkins. That's 3 3-pointers in the game for Big Hawk.
And they needed that to stop that West Frankfort run.
Frankfort has the basketball. Cully pulls up the dribble. His pass is just thrown into the seats over on the far side. Outstanding defense by the Lions, especially in the second half.
And I think Carterville learned a lot in that first game, knowing that West Frankfort, when certain individuals were in the game, they weren't going to be able to handle the ball very well. That's why Carterville is creating turnovers in this game. 7 so far here in the third quarter.
Under a minute to go. Carterville up 5, 37-32 with the ball. Kaden Hawkins floats to the left side, gets it to his brother Connor from the arc, inside the arc. Little 12-foot jumper's good from Connor Hawkins. He's feeling it today. He's got 13 for the Lions.
Back to a 7-point Carterville lead.
And Carterville picks up the D. Cully takes it to the free throw line. The elbow kicks it out to Brock Doris. Puts the defender in the air. Kick out past to Cully. Cully drives. Left-hand layup is good. Cully's got 10. Carterville, a chance to close out the third quarter with the ball. 39-34, up 5. It's Nick Laird, right side to Kaden Hawkins. Finds Eli down and down low. He can't handle the pass. It comes off to West Frankfort. Out of bounds. It's going to go to the West Frankfort Redbirds. Shane Hawkins, the look on his face. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it didn't seem like Downing was going to expect that alley-oop.
Frankfort turns the ball over at the buzzer. Long shot is off the backboard by Connor Hawkins. And we're going to close out the third quarter. Carterville leads it 39-34. here in the consolation bracket of the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. Fourth quarter action is next on News Radio WJPF. (39-34) as we start play here in the fourth quarter. Frankfort has the ball to start play. It's Brock Doris. It fires from three. Big shot from Brock Doris.
They had no threes in the first half. They've got 3 threes here in the second half to pull to within 2.
Doris has 2 of those threes. He has 9 points, and they're within 2, 39-37. Carterville ball. Bryce Anderson at the logo to Downing. Kick out to Pearson, right wing. Looks inside, has to throw it back out top to Bryce Anderson. Anderson, the left-hand dribble. Now they work left side. Connor Hawkins to Garby at the left elbow. Kicks it over to Pearson. Now they work around the perimeter. Long 3-ball. Bryce Anderson. Wow, what a shot. Anderson, that is his 3rd three-pointer of the game.
That was an NBA 3.
Long range.
Now a turnover.
Carterville forces another turnover. That's 7 on the Redbirds. Behind the back dribble. Anderson, his shot blocked. Connor Hawkins runs it down. He shoots from the right elbow. That's short. The ball tipped around. West Frankfort controls. They take it the other way. Cully, he drives. Thought he carried the ball. His shot off the back of the iron. Isaiah Thompson back in the contest. And the ball is off of Carterville. Brett Dial, the athletic director at a wrestling tournament, watching the game. Glad to have him if you're watching online as well. Trying to do what we can to bring you Lions basketball. Frankfort controls 42-37. Carterville on top. Cully behind the back. Into the paint. Kicks it over to Quincy King. He's open for 3. That's off the iron. Nicholas Laird gets the board. Outlet pass is thrown away. Turnover on the Lions. Quincy King was there to intercept that pass. Isaiah Thompson from just inside the arc. Shoots. That's too strong. And Carterville comes away with the ball. Here's Nicholas Laird into the front court. Loses the handle. Unforced error on Nicholas Laird as he turned around to see who was coming down the floor. Lost his footing. Ball goes out of bounds to the Carterville bench.
I've got Carterville for 6 turnovers here in the second half. That's the same amount they had the entire first half.
Frankfort's ball into the front court. Colley, right-hand runner, too strong, winds up in the hands of King. Now to Paxton Griffith. He steps inside, leaves it for Thompson. Spin move. Thompson travels as he spun around. That's another turnover on West Frankfort. That's 8 second-half turnovers for the Redbirds.
Yeah, I've got him for 10, but either way, Carterville has to take advantage of these turnovers. Carterville has a 5-point lead with a great opportunity to extend this to maybe to double digits.
17 turnovers by the Redbirds in this game. Carterville, 5-point lead, 42-37, 5:56 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
And Frankfort's gone now to a man-to-man, trailing by 5 in the fourth. They can't really stay in that zone and let Carterville run time.
Carterville's ball, Eli down and out top to Garby. On the floor with Anderson, Pearson, and Kaden Hawkins. Bryce Anderson works around the right side, inside the arc. drives, kicks it over to Kaden Hawkins. Good ball movement once again from the Lions. Downen finds an opening down the lane. Right-hand runner, he gets fouled. And the 6'4 junior, Eli Downen, goes to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, he went to his left down the lane. Then when he gets up in there, he switches the ball from his left hand to his right hand. Couldn't get it to go, but one big reason is because he was hacked.
Downen's shooting 2 for the Lions. The foul is on. Turns around, gives it back to Anderson. Steps inside the arc, leaves it for Kaden Hawkins. Back to Anderson, to Garby at the free throw line. Kaden Hawkins is wide open for 3. That rims out, no good. Battle for the board comes off to Carson Pearson. Good job by Pearson battling there. Gets it to Downen. Carterville can reset the offense. Shot from Bryce Anderson is good for Bryce. He's got 13 in the game. He's a leading candidate for our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal Star of the Game. A timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout. We'll be back on News Radio WJPF. What do you want to do here, bud? It's a 30. If you're watching online, if I move the camera any more to the right, I'm maxed out on what I can do here. I'd rather show 44-39, Carterville on top of the West Frankfort Redbirds. There's 4.5 minutes remaining in this game, Scott Hudson.
Carterville's just got to continue to play really good defense. You've got the lead. The clock's on your side. Just don't turn the ball over and take good shots from here on out.
Quincy King steps across midcourt. Anderson on him defensively. Man-to-man defense by the Lions at the moment. Cully around the top, has to pull up the dribble. That's Nick Laird on him. Laird slaps the ball out of his hand and goes out of bounds. That should be Carterville ball, but they say it's Redbirds basketball. They caught a break there.
Yes, they did. It went off. It went off of Cully, but the official didn't see it.
King inbounds to Cully into the backcourt. He steps across midcourt, hands it back to King. Quincy King around the top of the key. Has Anderson on him. Back to Cully. Now, that is Josh Melvin. Melvin has Downen on him. Bumps into Melvin. Carterville forces another turnover. Bryce Anderson. Left-hand layup is good for Bryce Anderson.
Good steal. Good layup by Anderson. Carterville's back up by 7.
46-39. 3:40 remaining in the game. Over on the right side, Paxton Griffith wants to drive the baseline. Spin move from the block. Puts the shot up. He's fouled. Caden Hawkins got him on the slap. And Paxton Griffith will go to the line and shoot free throw. Griffith had a great first half. He's been kind of quiet here in the second.
Well, Carterville's defense has been very good in this game, quite honestly. Those have been times where Frankfort's gotten into the paint a little too easily for my liking, but overall, Carterville's defense has been good.
He had 10 first half points. Paxton Griffith is who I'm speaking of, and he just hit his first bucket, his first point here in the second. He's got 11, and Carterville has a 6-point lead. Second from Griffith is good. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Home Renew of Southern Illinois. Call 694-9100. Call Home Renew. Carterville slows it down. 46-41. 3:20 remaining here in the game. Bryce Anderson, watch your feet. Oh, he almost stepped on that center line. To Garby. To Downen. Now back to Anderson. Top of the key. Drives the left side. Leaves it for Caden Hawkins. His pass is thrown away. It's going to be saved by Nicholas Laird. Gets it to Downen. Downen finds an opening. Garby down on the baseline. Shot up and fouled. Austin Garby is going to shoot free throws.
Nicholas Laird saved the day on that play, leaping from the front court to the back court to get that ball back to Eli Downen. Now Garby's got a big free throw here, 1-and-1. Or no, I guess he's going to get 2. Well, that's way short.
Brock Doris picks up the foul, and Garby's first free throw.
Carterville is 4 of 9 for the game. They are.
I know what they're doing at practice this week.
They're only 1 of 4 here in the second half.
And he misses the second. That rims out. I know what they're doing at practice this next week. Oh, the ball's tipped out of bounds. Nice D by Bryce Anderson on the far sideline to slap that ball away. 5-point lead. Carterville up 46-41. Just under 3 to play here. The winner of this game will play at 6 o'clock tonight for 5th place. Here at the 55th Annual Holiday Tournament. Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson. Quincy King to Colley. Ethan Colley has Garby on him. Reverses, takes it into the paint. Floater off the iron, no good. Winds up in the hands of Brock Doris. Now top of the key. Quincy King's wide open for 3. Too strong. Ball's battled, tipped, and it winds up with Redbirds. The third opportunity on this possession. Brock Doris got away with the travel, no call. Back to Quincy King. He floats toward the right side. Looks inside, gets it to Colley. Colley finds an open Paxton Griffith. He lost the handle, but he gets fouled. And it's going to go to the line with 2:15 and a chance to hit 2 free throws.
Well, the good news is Frankfort used up a lot of time on that possession. The bad news is they got about 2 or 3 offensive rebounds, and now they're going back to the free throw line.
Nicholas Laird picked up his 2nd foul. Griffith hits the free throw.
Frankfort is 7 of 8 from the free throw line.
And all 3 of Griffith's points here in the second half have come at the line. 46-42, a 4-point lead. Second free throw. No good, and number 20, Connor Hawkins, gets the board. Down and has a double team. Gets it to Bryce Anderson. It's tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay with Carterville. Lions broadcast is brought to you by Tony Gates State Farm. State Farm, with more drivers than any other company. Get to a better states with Tony Gates. The second consolation game immediately following this one is Anna Jonesboro Eldorado. The winner of this will play the winner of that. Carterville throws the ball away on the far sideline. That's turnover on the Lions.
You cannot do that. It appeared to be there was going to be a 2-on-1, but Frankfort closed quickly in the paint. If you're Bryce Anderson, you just got to pull that ball back out, run clock. You got a 4-point lead. Instead, they throw the ball away, and now Frankfort with a 3 could pull to within 1.
46-42, Frankfort basketball. Quincy King has Carson Pearson on him. Finally across the timeline, right side, Paxton Griffith. Now to Doris. Back to King on the left wing. Wing looks inside, gets it. And Frankfort turns it over as it was Josh Melvin that lost the handle. Gives the ball back to the Lions, 1:40. And Lions have a 4-point lead. Carson Pearson to Bryce Anderson. Carterville can run some time here. Frankfort comes out to force the issue. Down and has it. Now to Pearson. Pearson, right side to Garby. Finds Laird. Now Anderson to Laird to Garby. Carterville works the perimeter out top. Bryce Anderson. 1:13 remaining. A 4-point lead, 46-42. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called, I believe. Brock Dorse.
And the good news is that's only the 5th team foul on Frankfort. So Carterville is not going to go to the free throw line. So Carterville has at least one more opportunity to get the ball in and run clock.
46-42, the 4-point lead. That's only the 5th foul on the Redbirds. Inbounds pass comes into the backcourt to Bryce Anderson. 65 seconds remaining in the game. A 4-point lead for the Lions and another bump foul on West Frankfort. That's going to be team foul number 6. And Brock Doris, they call that one on Ethan Colley. That's the 3rd on Colley. Come on, boys, let's close this one out. 4-point lead. And a foul from Quincy King behind the play. That's the 7th team foul. Now Lions are going to be shooting the 1-and-1.
So it only took 7 seconds off the clock for Frankfort to go from 5 team fouls to 7. But that 7 seconds could play a major part in the end of this game.
Scott Niall, Neymar Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game. Bryce Anderson, his first free throw is good.
Remind me the next Carterville game to stop by the drugstore before I come. just saying.
Prescriptions required.
Yes, anything for heart ailments, possible strokes.
5-point lead for the Lions, 47-42. Second free throw rims out. Frankfort's ball on the run. Quincy King takes it across the timeline. Paxton Griffith Leaves it for Cully. A long three from Cully. No good. Big board. Big rebound for Eli Downen, and a whistle and a foul is called on Brock Dorse. That's number 5, Dorse. Fouls out with 52.7 seconds left in the game.
Frankfort only has 2 field goals in this fourth quarter. They had 4 in the third, 2 in the fourth. And a lot of that is because Carterville created turnovers. And they haven't had near as many opportunities to score in this second half as they did the first.
It's fish day in the hospitality room.
Ooh.
Sorry, that just bumped in my head. Don't know why.
Tartar, please.
Eli Downen out the line. First free throw is good for Downen. Eli in double digits, that's 10. Connor Hawkins with 13. Bryce Anderson with 16. Those are leading candidates for our star of the game. Second from Downen is good. 2 big free throws for the Lions from Eli Downen. A 7-point lead. 50 seconds remaining in the game. Brock Dorse hands it to Cully. He's going to drive the right side. Just throws it up at the rack. No good. Preston Sumner the board. Outlet pass to Anderson. 7-point lead. 35 seconds. Into the front court. Carson Pearson backs it up. Floats it out top to Bryce Anderson. Over to Garby. 23 seconds remaining and the 7-point lead. Frankfort's going to concede. They back off on the defense. Carterville is advancing to the 5th place game of the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. What a game. The Carterville really needed a game like this, especially after that loss yesterday to Heron.
Well, they played 2 good halves of basketball today, and that's why they came away with the win. Only a 2-point lead at half, but they end up winning by 7.
49-42. Carterville plays in the 5th place game here tonight at 6 o'clock in the 55th annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament. Post-game show is coming up next. This is Lions basketball on News Radio WJPF. That'll be easy to fill because Hawk doesn't get up here for 12, 15 minutes. So. Next. Okay, we'll do that. I mean, 49-42, the Carterville Lions will play for 5th place tonight in the Eldorado Holiday Tournament after the win here over West Frankfort. Carterville needed that win.
Well, they did. You know, Carterville had a 2-point lead at half. They came out, got a 7-point lead. Frankfort cut that lead to 2 quickly, but then Carterville just methodically played good defense, very patient on offense, took good shots, and were able to finally extend that lead out to 7. And Frankfort missed a lot of shots in that fourth quarter. Frankfort only shot 20% in the fourth quarter, and that's a big reason why Carterville was able to come away with a 7-point win.
Carterville was able to close this out. They led at the end of the third by 5, 39-34. And they wound up putting 10 points on the board here in the fourth. But the thing is, they hit the free throws they needed to hit to close this thing out.
Yeah, once it was about a 4 or 5 point lead, then you hit the free throws, then that takes all the steam out of the West Frankfort Redbirds. Shooting from the field, Carterville 38% from the field, 44% for the Redbirds. Shooting from the free throw line, Carterville only 50% in the game, 77% for West Frankfort. Rebounding, Carterville out-rebounded West Frankfort 24-22. Downen led the Lions with 5. Cunningham led West Frankfort with 11. Carterville 13 turnovers, 6 in the first half, 7 in the second half. That's much better. 21 turnovers for West Frankfort, and that was a big reason why Carterville got the big 7-point win here this morning.
49-42 the final score. When you look at the scoring for West Frankfort, they were led by Paxton Griffith with 13. Ethan Cully had 12. Brock Doris added 9. Andrew Cunningham with 2. And Isaiah Thompson with 6. 42 points scored by the Redbirds. For Carterville, they were led by the 5'8 junior, Bryce Anderson. He winds up with 16 points. Connor Hawkins, 1, 2, 3 big three-pointers, and an additional field goal, 13 for Connor Hawkins. Eli Downen into double digits with 11. Preston Sumner with 2. And let's see here, Austin Garby with 5. Carson Pearson with 2. 3 players for the Lions in double digits we need to name are Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game.
Well, I'm going to make a suggestion, and you can nix it, you can, shoot it down, whatever. But in this game, I want to go with a hat trick. I want to go with Anderson, Downen, and Connor Hawkins because all 3 were instrumental in this win the game. And it's hard for me just to pick one of those. I thought Anderson had one of his better games of the season. Downen's starting to play well. And Connor Hawkins, what can you say? You go all the way back to the AJ game. He's been lighting it up from three-point land, and that's exactly what Carterville's needed. I can't pick any of those 3 individually, so I'm going to hand it over to you, Dave McKenzie. You take it and run with it.
Can't argue. We're going to go with all 3. Bryce Anderson, Connor Hawkins, and Eli Downen are Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. Call 534-8148, owned by Joe and Lindsay McCann of Carterville. For over 20 years, they've been servicing Southern Illinois. They specialize in lawn care, landscape maintenance, tree trimming, snow removal. 618-534-8148. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal. Bryce Anderson, Connor Hawkins, Eli Downen, our players of the game. I know this. We're getting ready to talk to Coach Shane Hawkins. It's going to be a whole lot different conversation than we had after the game last night here.
There's no question. He's got to be a lot happier with what he saw today. And I said it in the pregame show, when this is your 3rd day of playing basketball in Eldorado, you've made those long bus trips, and you're having to play your 2nd time at 8:30 in the morning, and you just came off an emotional loss to your rival Heron, the team that wants it the most will probably win. And I thought Carterville came out and played very hard from the start, especially on the defensive end, and it looked like Carterville wanted to come back tonight and play for 5th place, which may not seem like a lot to some, but remember this. If my math is correct, if Carterville were to win this game at 6 o'clock tonight, they will be a game over 500. When was the last time Carterville basketball has been over 500?
Can't tell you.
I can't
find
either.
out. We're going to go on and take our final break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Coach Shane Hawkins. You're listening to Lions basketball on News Radio WJPF. All right. We won't be out before 10. So just What's that? 49-42, Carterville, a winner at the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. They've won 2 of 3 games here, and they advance to the 5th place consolation game tonight at 6 o'clock. The 2 teams that are playing in the other side of that bracket, Anna Jonesboro and Eldorado. Carterville will play the winner of that game coming up. And what a tournament this has been. Shane Hawkins making his way up here to chat with us, but he's got a little hop in his step as he comes up the stairs.
He does, and you find out a lot about your team when you face adversity. And after yesterday's disappointing loss to Heron, where he said their team played with no emotion, he's got to be happy with what he saw here this morning.
49-42, the Lions get the win today over West Frankfort. That's the second time that they beat West Frankfort this season, as Coach Shane Hawkins joins us here on our post-game show. And Coach, I told Scott a while ago, I said, this is going to be the tale of 2 different coaches. After we talked last night, that was a much, much better ball game by your squad.
Well, I thought yesterday, we were really good for a half. I thought we were really good the first half, other than having the game spread a little bit more by making free throws. I thought we did a lot of right things in the first half. The second half, we did not do a whole lot right yesterday. And I'll be honest, you can kind of walk out of the gym yesterday, you get beat by your rival in a game maybe you could have, should have won. This 8:30 game in the morning could have gone a bunch of different directions.
Yes.
It could have been real ugly for us, and that was my fear. Is that, hey, it's 8:30, it's the second day out of 3 that we're playing the early game. I could have seen us being really, really flat, and I thought our kids did a tremendous job of being ready to play. And I thought we continued that effort. I thought our effort was tremendous for 32 minutes. And one of the things we talk about is when you play hard, you play better. I think we played harder, we played better.
And the defensive pressure by your Lions today was outstanding.
We were very good defensively. We were late on a couple rotations here and there, but I thought Carson and Bryce and Nicholas did a very good job out-guarding their perimeter guys. And their perimeter guys and King and Thompson they have great quickness, and they have skill. And I thought those guys did a very good job of containing the dribble, putting a little bit of pressure on them. And I thought as a team we were very good defensively.
And, Coach, you didn't have near as many turnovers today as you did in the game yesterday. That was a big key. But Frankfort made that little run at you there in the second half where you had the 7-point lead and all of a sudden it's cut to 2 or 3 points. And then that's where you're going to find out, okay, what are we made of? You're able to extend that lead eventually out to 7. But I thought, the decision-making and the shot selection was very good in that second half.
Yeah, I know we took a couple bad ones or a couple questionable ones. But we tried to make a conscious effort of getting inside. Even though playing zone, you still got to attack inside. And I thought we did a better job of being patient enough to get it in there. And when you get it in there and you can open and get that defense, especially when they're zone, get them to collapse a little bit, it just opens up so much more for our perimeter guys. We had more space, more time to get threes off today. We had a little bit more space. We shot it better.
The one thing that you said yesterday, you were disappointed with the heart of this team in that game against Heron. Guys played with emotion today. They played with heart today.
Absolutely, and now you're getting into where you're trying to figure out 17 and 18-year-olds, because you would think that would maybe be the opposite, is they would be ready to play and ready to compete and go all out yesterday against a rival at 145 in front of a pretty good crowd, and maybe not so much at 8:30 against somebody you've already played and beat. But it was a step, and the one thing we talked about before the game is we've got to start winning trophies, all right? Because we haven't won one in about 5 years. Not the trophy we wanted when we got here 3 days ago, but it's the one trophy that we're playing for tonight at 6 o'clock. And so this morning was a championship game to get us to the championship game, and fortunate enough we get 2 championship games, or so to speak, in one day. So we'll see how we are mentally. We'll get out of here, get them on the bus, get back home, and let them relax a little bit and come back, and hopefully we're we'll be ready.
Most importantly, I think right now your squad 6-6, 500 on the season. A win tonight would put you over 500. Scott asked earlier, when was the last time we were over 500? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
You do?
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, ask the coach.
I do know. It's been a long time, and it was with the pyramid and going 0-4. We kind of dug ourselves a hole to get back there. We got there on whatever day, the first day here. Well, 2 days ago, we got to 5-5. Had a chance to go over yesterday. Now we're back to even. Now you got a chance again to get back over there for the first time in about 3.5 years. So I think that's big for us. It'll be a big step to win a trophy and get back over to 500. That'll be big for us right now.
And, Coach, one difference I've noticed in your team since the Anna Jonesboro game, you basically have now what I will call a zone buster. Connor has come in and has hit some big threes for you since that AJ game. And what it's done, it extends the defense out when he gets the ball, which either opens up things on the inside or, as we saw today, he kicks it right back out to Bryce Anderson, who hit some big threes today.
Yeah, I thought in the first half we held the ball too much against their zone. I thought the second half we had better ball movement. When you can get that ball zipping from side to side and get them spread out in their zone, you're going to get something. You're either going to get them spread inside where we can tack inside or we can tack off the gap, or you get them in a rotation where we get it side to side where we can get a corner shot. And I thought we did a lot better job the second half of getting it moved, and we made some shots because we had a little bit more time and space.
49-42, the final score. The Lions knock off West Frankfort. They advance to the 5th place game tonight here at the 55th Annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament. Thanks, Coach.
All right, see you guys.
Congratulations.
We'll take our final break. When we come back, we'll wrap up this broadcast and get you set up for this evening here. The Carterville Lions win 49-42 on News Radio WJPF. Okay.
And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Eldorado Eagles. At goal, the 6'4" junior, number 5, Kaden Hawkins. At guard, a 6' junior, number 21, Frankfort. At forward, a 6'3" senior, number 25, Kaden Shoemaker. At guard, a 6' freshman, number 34, Carterville. And at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 45, Nolan Milligan. The Eagles are coached by Mr. Josh Bradley.
Okay.